guys, welcome back to the channel. It is kellyneshell. Over here we do a little makeup and do a little hair, and we spread a lot of knowledge. So if this is something that you are interested in, then just keep watching. Today we'll be talking about money. Money. I know a lot of us don't like to talk about money, but today we're gonna talk about it. So come here, sit down. We're gonna talk about money. Now there's a lot of misconception as it relates to money, and as I said before, money is a topic that we don't normally talk about. A lot of times when people talk about money, they get a little bit uncomfortable, but I want us to become comfortable talking about money. Yes, this channel, we talk about hair, we talk about makeup, and we love products and all of that, but at the end of the day, I want us to be aware, to understand money. And I don't really know everything, because in truth and in fact nobody knows everything, but there are a few things that I've came across by reading and stuff like that about money that I want us to share. And if you see me looking down, it's because I have my notes here with me. So let's get into it. Today's topic basically is what you should know about money. And the first thing I think you should know about money, we should learn to live within our budget and not overspend. We have a tendency to spend more than we make, or spend everything that we make. So for example, if we make $500, worth speaking, we tend to spend it all, just spend it all. We pay our bills and we do this and then we spend the rest and whatever. We don't think about investing or anything of that sort. I know it's easy to say living within your budget, but whatever you make, you can live within your budget. If it means you have to scale down and stuff, if it means that, you know what, I can't buy that new dress, I can't go out to eat with my friends, you have to learn to live within your budget to make things work for you. And once you learn to live within your means, if you get a pay increase, and this is where a lot of us blunder, do not spend that extra. So for example, if you used to live $500, right, and you get $20, a lot of us sometimes will say, oh, I got $20 more, I can go buy this or buy that. But I implore you, do not try to live within, or try to live just as how you lived when you were making that $500. Use that $20 to put away to invest in something else. The next point I want us to understand is you can never get rich off of your salary. That's just the truth. And this is something that people with money understand. You can't. It goes back to my first point where, you know, live within your means. But with your salary, you cannot ever get rich. No matter if you make six figures, you'll never ever be rich, like really rich. What you have to do is invest. And I'm going to talk a lot about investing and stuff, because this is something I want us to get familiar with. I want us to become comfortable with the idea of investing our money. You know, if you're working as salary, you know, you make $500. Let's keep using $500 for an example. You make $500 this week. You make $500. Your rent's coming out of it, your food's coming out of it, everything's coming out of it. There's no way for you to get rich by working a salary. I still work a salary. I'm still in the process of, you know, transitioning. So don't take this as though me saying, you know, oh, don't work, whatever. No, this is me saying to you, or to us, work your salary, but put your money away. Don't splurge on everything. You don't need to splurge. Like, I used to be a splurger, but now I don't do that. I save my money. I'm saving my money up to invest. I've come to realize that you can never ever get rich or get comfortable or live a comfortable life off of your salary. And if you want to understand more about what I'm talking about, you have to read. If you want to know about money, we were never taught about money. However, there are books out there that teaches us about money. And if you check my playlist, I'm going to put something in the cards here on books everyone should be reading. If you read those books, you'll understand. These books that I have read, they have enlightened me, opened up my eyes to a world of possibilities, things that I've never known. Because it goes back to, my parents did not understand money. The only thing they knew about money was you work, try to stay out of debt. but they didn't know about investing and things like that. So now it's through reading and research and conversation with people that make money, that was in the 9-to-5, who got out, and they share their strategies and stuff that they use to overcome and to break through, you know. But so as I said, I'll leave that there. I felt like I was rambling. The third thing that I want us to discuss is investing versus savings. Now, growing up, I was taught save your money, save your money, save your money. But if you go back to my previous point about you cannot get rich off of your salary, there's no way that you can save your money and get rich and get out of the rat race. What you have to do, or what you can do though, is whatever money you make off your salary, your 9-to-5, you invest that money. You stack that money until it gets to a point where you can reinvest it, and that's how you start to build financial freedom. You don't start to build financial freedom through just working and depending on your salary. And this is something that I'm going to constantly remind us. We can't elevate ourselves financially just depending on our salary. Next thing that no one told me about money: make sure that whatever you buy, you spend your money on, it's an asset, not a liability. A lot of us still get what assets are confused and what liabilities are. Assets are things that bring in money. Liabilities are things that take money away from you. So for example, if I buy a home, let's use a home because most of us dream about buying a house, right? If I buy a house, right, that house becomes a liability. Why? Because I am spending to maintain that house. That house is not bringing in any money. However, if I buy a house and I rent part of the house out, now it becomes an asset because it's bringing in money that I could potentially use to pay off or help pay off the mortgage, or say my mortgage is already paid off, it is bringing in a extra cash flow in to my pocket. Basically, say if I buy a car and I use the car just to transport back and forth from work, that car becomes a liability because I have to buy gas, I have to pay for insurance, I have to fix the car if it breaks down. So that's potentially taking money away from me. But if I use that car for a business, say for example I do Amazon delivery, or I do Uber Eats, or I do something with the car, I'm making money back with the car. So, and that money could either potentially pay for the car or put extra money in my pocket. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you do, make sure you're making money on it. So know the difference between an asset and a liability. And these are things nobody taught us about money, or if they did talk about it, they didn't go in depth about money, and I don't know why. Just to add on to what I said earlier about investing versus saving, because a big thing that happens to our money when we save it: inflation. Yes, so I'm saying inflation is not your friend. It's better to invest opposed to save, because inflation is not your. And I'm not a financial person, I'm not an accountant or anything, but this is just quick Google search, because when you become passionate about getting a better life, being financially stable, you find, just like how you want to learn how to do a cut crease, you want to do a wig or whatever, you spend time to learn. This is just me spending time to learn how money works, because in the world that we live in, we need to know how money works, or else we're going to be sucked in, and nobody wants to be sucked. According to a quick Google search, and I'm reading this from the computer, inflation means an increase in the cost of living as the price of goods increase. So again, I'm going to say that again. Inflation is an increase in the cost of living as the price of goods and services rises. So as I said, it's better to invest more than to save because of inflation. And then my next point is, this is something that a lot of us don't do, we don't typically do, but when you work, pay yourself 10% of whatever you work, you should pay yourself. Now when I say pay yourself 10%, I'm not saying pay yourself 10% and go out and spend it, because we're not about that right now. And I want you to understand, I'm not telling you not to spend and not to buy nice things, because girl, baby girl, I love nice things. What I'm saying is be mindful. You know, if I need a home, yes, I can skip on a new pair of shoes. I already have 20,000 pairs of shoes. You know what I'm saying? It's just an example. But what I'm saying is, when you pay yourself that 10%, you put that 10% aside, because you're gonna build on it. All right, you're building on it. You're paying yourself 10%. You're saying, listen, this is for me. This 10% is for me, because I gotta pay my light, I gotta pay rent, I gotta pay whatever you have to pay, whatever utilities, whatever bills you have to pay. You're gonna have to pay it, but you need to pay yourself 10%. And the last thing I think we need to understand about money is compound interest. A lot of us don't know what compound interest is. I myself probably didn't know what compound interest is. Compound interest, you hear the word thrown around quite often, but you're like, what is compound interest? What are you talking about? What is compound interest? Now let me Google it for you. So compound interest, let me tell you, you need to understand compound interest, because a lot of us, we take loans and stuff like that, and we don't understand that compound interest builds up, and compound interest can also work in your favor. If you have an investment that is locked in for years, compound can work in your favor. And what compound interest is, and I'm going to be reading it, so I'm going to be looking down, is compound interest is the addition of interest to the principal sum of a loan or deposit, or in other words, interest on interest. So it's basically the interest on your money. So if you own a loan, if you take a loan and compound interest is assigned to it, it's the interest, it's the money that goes on your money. So say for example, you borrow $500. We're sticking with $500. I don't know why. And then you end up have to pay $525. The $525 is the compound interest that grew on that $500. However, if you take that $500 and you invest it, and the compound rate compounds, and you put in $500, and you go back to take it out and you see $525, that's the compound interest on it. So these are a few things that, you know, I want us to keep in mind as we try to make ourselves better people, try to make ourselves more financially aware, financially stable. As I said, I am not a financial person, but I like for us to get real about adults or young adults, and some of us are even more far along, but we need to know these things. It's never too late to get your finances in order. I don't have all my finances in order, but I am on my way to getting it there. So come along with me, and we're not only going to be talking about finance, we're going to be talking about other stuff, other things, real world things, things that really affect us. Because at the end of the day, yes, we all love makeup, we love this, we love looking good and all of that, but we need to, there are other things that we need to be discussing, and this platform is going to be such place that we could discuss whatever we want, things that affect us in our real life, real world things. So let me catch your breath. So if this is something that you enjoyed, I'm asking you to just give this video a thumbs up, give us a like. I hope your day is as wonderful as you are. Join us again for another video. It could be hair, it could be makeup, it could be a word. So just join. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, share it with your significant other, share it with whoever is in your life that you care about. And as I said, thank you for watching, and I hope your day is as wonderful as you are.